The storm raged outside the naval base, waves pounding the docks like 1,000 drums. Inside, under the cold hum of fluorescent lights, stood Lieutenant Sarah Blake, drenched, trembling, and clutching a blood-stained report file. Her once pristine Navy uniform now bore the marks of mud, smoke, and something far deeper, loss. The room fell silent when Commander Reeves, a man known for his iron discipline, stepped in. He scanned her from head to toe, then slammed the folder she had brought onto the steel table. "Greater than, Lieutenant Blake," he barked, "you're hereby relieved of duty. Remove your uniform." Gasps filled the room. The words hit like bullets. Sarah didn't flinch, but her heart cracked silently. No one knew what she had been through. No one except the men she had lost. The mission that changed everything. 2 weeks earlier, Sarah led Operation Silent Tide, a classified Navy SEAL rescue mission deep inside enemy waters. It was supposed to be a quick extraction, a simple in-and-out job. But nothing went as planned. The team had 12 men, elite, trained, fearless. Sarah was their intel and navigation lead, the only woman on the mission. To some, she didn't belong there. To others, she was the team's lifeline. When their Blackhawk went down behind enemy lines, communication was severed. They were stranded. Food was low, ammo was lower, and the enemy was closing in. Sarah had to make a decision no one should ever face. She split the team, sending half toward a possible extraction point while she led the other half to create a diversion. Her call saved 6 lives, but cost 5 others theirs. When reinforcements finally arrived, she was the last one standing. Exhausted, bloodied, her uniform ripped apart, she carried the body of Chief Petty Officer Daniels, her mentor, on her shoulders for miles through the mud. The courtroom of silence. Now, 2 weeks later, Sarah stood before a board of men who had never faced the heat of a battlefield. "Lieutenant Blake," Commander Reeves said sternly, "5 men died under your leadership. You disobeyed extraction orders. You compromised protocol." Sarah stood tall, voice trembling but strong. "Greater than, sir, if I hadn't made that call, all 12 would have died. I didn't disobey to be reckless, I did it to bring them home." But bureaucracy didn't care about bravery. It cared about rules. The order was final. She was to be dismissed. Reeves turned his gaze away, hiding something behind his rigid expression. Guilt, pain, respect. Sarah couldn't tell. She removed her navy cap slowly, then her rank patch, laying them on the table. Her trembling fingers touched the silver insignia of the SEALs, the trident. It symbolized everything she had fought for, everything she was about to lose. She placed it down with quiet reverence. "Greater than, permission to speak freely, Commander?" she asked. Reeves nodded stiffly. "Greater than, those 5 men, they didn't die because of me. They died with me, because they believed in the mission. They believed in this uniform." Her voice cracked. "And even if you strip it from me today, sir, I'll still serve. Because being a soldier isn't a uniform, it's a heartbeat." The letter that changed his mind. 3 days later, Commander Reeves received a sealed letter. It was written by Chief Daniels, recovered from his personal effects. His words were short but powerful. "Greater than, if I don't make it back, tell them Sarah Blake is the bravest officer I've ever served with. She doesn't follow orders blindly, she follows what's right. If this Navy ever loses people like her, it loses its soul." Reeves sat in silence after reading it. For the first time in years, tears filled his eyes. He remembered the look on Sarah's face when she laid her insignia down, broken but unbowed. He walked out of his office and toward the pier where Sarah stood, watching the waves. She was in civilian clothes now, holding her duffel bag. When she saw him, she straightened instinctively, out of old habit. Without saying a word, Reeves removed his hat. His hand trembled slightly as he dropped it to his side, then brought his other hand up in a crisp, silent salute. The world seemed to stop. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. The man who had ordered her to remove her uniform now saluted her, not as an officer, but as a soldier honoring another. "Greater than, the Navy needs people like you," he said quietly. "And I was wrong to forget that." He handed her a small box. Inside, gleamed a new trident. "Greater than, you're reinstated, Lieutenant. Not because of rules, because of honor." The return. Months later, Sarah was back on the field, this time leading a new generation of recruits. Among them were young women inspired by her story, who finally saw that courage had no gender, and loyalty had no boundaries. One night, after training, a new recruit asked her, "Ma'am, is it true the commander once ordered you to remove your uniform?" Sarah smiled faintly. "Yes, but it's also true he saluted me afterward." She looked out at the sunset painting the water gold and whispered, "Sometimes, respect isn't given. It's earned, through fire, through loss, and through never giving up on who you are."